ready, set. And we're back!
Yeah, we truly are back this time.
Welcome to the Itch Network podcast with my boys. Well, hold on. YaBoiJD.
Wait, what am I then? What the fuck? What am I?
You're a girl.
You're Rosie.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
And nobody's favorite, Rosie. Welcome.
You're back.
Yeah, it feels good to be back, brothers.
Shut the hell up.
Wait, you were whiffing for a second. What the hell?
We were hanging out at a party and decided to just do a podcast today.
That's not how it went.
Wait, how did it go?
Guys! Please, damn it!
I need friends.
I still got the
Anyway.
rug burns.
Yeah, man. Nice. Okay. Very sexual.
No, it's very good to talk to you guys again. I missed you very dearly.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
missed
Matt.
you, kinda.
You don't hit me up. You don't hit me up when I go to jail and shit.
It happens so often. I just feel like it's not even a thing anymore.
You literally go, what? Again?
Again, JT, come on, man.
What, JD? How many times you gonna get caught in the same corner?
How you gonna get jail, brother?
JT, I'm gonna get caught again. I'm gonna get caught again.
Oh, your day off too. Oh, man, I used to be hard yet. Man, it is actually great to hear from you guys.
It's fucking whack.
Oh, JT's here only as an obligation. Doesn't miss us
Parole.
at all. Parole. You gotta do that podcast. We got JD for 3 podcasts. We gotta use them.
Either you go to podcast.
Shit!
Yeah, either you do the podcast or you go back to jail. Which one? He scratches his chin.
He just locks his own cage.
Are you really thinking? Hold on.
Wait a minute.
Thinking about it.
Sign me up, I guess.
Oh man. Well, in the spirit of old times, Rosie, what have you been playing lately?
Blops 4. Blops 4, brother. Getting headshots to be called the N-word constantly. It's the best.
Wait, what word?
The N-word. No, not it.
Oh.
Not gonna make me say it.
Nubile.
Yeah, noob.
You nubile boy. You can't win.
Come here, child.
Yeah. Is that it?
That's literally it.
Hollow Knight. Sorry, forgive me. Hollow Knight, Black Ops 4, and that's about it. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. I'm waiting for Red Dead and Fallout 76. I'm not gonna play too many games till then.
Huh.
Okay.
That was
That was
fruitless, JD. How about you?
Fucking, where do I start? Soul Calibur 6, Dragon Ball Fighters, Street Fighter, Diablo 2, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy 14, right?
Yeah, 14. Yeah.
Anything new on that one?
A lot of shit, man. I'm playing major catch up right now. There's a couple of odes going on. Kefka's in it, so it's kind of cool.
Kefka, he was Final Fantasy 1, I believe.
6.
Oh yeah, 6.
Wait, hold on. Let me double check. Kefka.
Well, yeah, that laugh. I know it's 6.
Yeah.
I was just trolling you.
Yeah, Final Fantasy. Yeah. What else? Yeah, he's a prick. He's an actual boss, or a trial.
Oh, very nice.
How many bosses are from actual Final Fantasy games themselves instead of just being original? You know.
So there's there's a legit answer. There's 2. There's one actually. Fucking, why can't I think of his name? Trials FFXAV. It's what's his goddamn fucking name? Y'all are really killing me right
What? How?
now. Ravana. Goddamn. Ravana.
That's not a number.
I said one. Ravana.
What's a Ravana?
I wish I could send you the link. Oh, I can.
Yeah.
So you can see how he looks. Let's see here. Ravana.
Hey,
Well, look it up. Look it up yourself. Our checking.
Have you fought Rathios yet?
Yeah, I did actually. Yeah.
How'd that go?
Nope.
And like a actual legit fight, or is it just kind of
No, he has no indicators for guys that play like MMOs. He has no like AoE circles or indicators like, oh, he's gonna shoot this area, except for one. So you pretty much have to go based off of how he attacks. You have to dodge him, and it's just like Monster Hunter. He has all of his attacks in Monster Hunter, and he flies for a little bit. You gotta knock him down and then cut off his tail. It's the exact same thing.
Yes, that's always the darkest element in that game.
Give me your fucking tail, bastard.
I'm gonna break you apart, and then I'm gonna wear you, boy. It's like, ugh, help me.
I'm gonna wear you, boy. All right, so there's the link I'm sending to you, so you can see it. It's just Bing search, really.
Oh, gotcha.
But yeah, if you go to images, he's like an insect. He's like Grievous, really. He's got 4 blades. He's got 6 arms.
Does he cough uncontrollably?
No, he whoops your ass pretty uncontrollably. I can't stop. This ass beating's been a long time coming. So it's yeah, no, he'll put the hurting on you if you're not careful. It's pretty cool. There's a couple other guys that you run into that are part of the actual story of Final Fantasy, so I wouldn't really count those. I'm talking like main big guys. You've got Tsukiyomi, Rathalos, of course, Sephiroth, Nidhogg.
Sephiroth in that bitch?
Sephiroth.
What's Sephiroth? I thought you just mispronounced it. I was assuming that's what happened. What happened?
I believe he's Final Fantasy 6 as well.
Sephiroth is Final Fantasy 6?
Yes, Rot, not Sephiroth.
And then Sephiroth. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Is it? Do you look even similar?
No, they do not. Here, I'll send you this one too. So you can... But
same music.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, like they mumble that part, so you don't pick up that they fucked it up. No, there's. I think there's a lot of tactics is heavily influenced in the game right now. So you have tactics dungeons. You're working with Ramza and you're fighting it's so weird. It's surreal, really. I gotta play tactics again now because all the fight music is the battle music from tactics, like the I fucking whatever. Yeah. Whatever. Anyway, go ahead.
I downloaded Tactics on my phone forever ago and played like the first mission and absolutely hated it. It's probably better with a controller, but
it is.
No.
Yes.
Oh God. I played Tactics on my PSP, and I was just like, the first mission, I was just like, this is awful.
Oh, maybe it hasn't aged well.
Y'all can both suck my dick.
No.
And
I don't think my little mouth is big enough.
Oh, but oh, Jesus!
Go back to prison.
Really
Guess what?
like a man.
You're going back to jail.
Oh shit! Anyway, what you been playing, Spencer?
I thought you never asked.
Good to know. So moving forward.
I have been playing a lot of The Witcher 3. I've been going through the expansion content.
Yeah.
Freaking amazing game. I want to play Horizon Zero Dawn, but there's no way I'm gonna do it with Red Dead coming out. We're all getting Red Dead, right? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, but this motherfucker's getting it on. You're getting it on PC?
It's not coming out for PC. Yeah, I'm getting it on PS4.
There was a listing, but it was a rumor. Okay, you're getting it on PS4. Rosie, you're getting it on PS4, right?
No, I'm getting on Xbox One because my friends peer pressured me.
Dude, I would be on that game non-fucking stop. If you had at least played Monster Hunter with me consistently, like you played like 1 or 2 missions and then you guys just kept speeding off. Oh, excuse me. We would be we would be doing all those missions. They got all kinds of tempered motherfuckers now. We could have ran Behemoth.
We've been playing. We play quite a bit together.
We didn't play no.
Wait,
didn't
We
play it
played
enough.
quite a bit.
I'm confused. Is Red Dead multiplayer?
It's coming out the following month.
I feel like it's gonna be just like
It's the same thing
Grand
as
Theft
GTA
Auto.
Online. Yeah, and I hope it's not. I hope they do things like, hey, heist missions work together. People got different like, archetypes. That would be cool. You guys got to work together, kind of thing. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's get the fucking gang together. Go be lawless.
Yeah. Then I didn't even know they were having a multiplayer thing. Rosie, what the hell?
Exactly.
What? You didn't even know it had multiplayer.
You didn't either until I told you.
No, I did know.
That makes it worse.
If you knew, you would have gotten it on PS4.
You literally gave the reason why I'm getting on the Xbox One. Like, you literally nailed it. I was like,
Wait, why are you getting on Xbox One?
those are my friends. Like you said before, you piece of shit.
Are your friends even getting it? They're just gonna play Call of Duty.
They don't even play Call of Duty. They fucking play Madden, which I think is worse. They're like,
Wait,
oh,
they're
get
not
online.
even playing. They're not even playing Call of Duty with you.
No, they play, but they'll be like, oh, we need to play our
But
online matches.
JD, here's the thing. I told Rosie I was gonna get Call of Duty on the PS4, and then he blew me off. He's like, I'm gonna go play with my friends.
Why am I not surprised? Rosie, you've constantly done this to us, man. That hurts.
It hurts me deep.
Why don't you guys get on Xbox One? Both of y'all have Xbox One.
No,
I don't have an
JD
Xbox
sold
One.
his.
Oh, what? Why'd you sell yours, brother?
I'm
Because
half.
I bought a door stump for fucking $10 and it was easier.
Yeah, I'm really on the. I was gonna give it to my nephew. Because it's a useless brick.
What's a useless brick?
Oh, your heart. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, that thing's crap. I can't believe you would get these games instead. I've played with those people. They're trouble. They're trouble.
But my boys are trouble. You only one of them's trouble, and you realize that.
Oh, I forgot about that story.
Oh my God. There's actually another story to that. I'll tell you off the podcast though.
No, do it on the podcast. We want to
No,
hear.
I'm
Coming
not
up
doing
next.
Yeah.
No, I'm fucking not.
Damn, man. Well, that's good. We've all been playing games. What did y'all want to talk about?
Well, I've been
let's
playing
talk
more
about
games.
games.
You didn't get to hear the rest of the games I've been playing.
Oh, sorry about that.
Go ahead.
Etrian Odyssey 5.
So what y'all been playing?
Oh.
Hey, did you actually beat it?
No, I'm replaying it right now.
Oh, you beat the first. Why'd you replay it?
Technically, you're not replaying it. You never
Yeah.
beat it the first
Well, I
time.
got really far, but I think there's like a million other games that came out, and I had to switch over.
Why don't
good.
you just continue your story?
I don't like to do that. I don't like to jump in after like a long time.
Guess what happens? You're exploring another fucking dungeon.
Yeah, but I like to feel my characters. You know how it is.
No, I don't. I don't know how that is because I beat the game, and then like I took a long time, and then I came back and beat the game.
Oh, speaking of beating games though, Dragon Quest 11. I totally beat that
Oh,
one.
sorry. Yeah.
I
forgot.
thought you
Yeah,
didn't
I did beat
like
that.
that one.
Oh, I loved it.
Who didn't like it then?
I thought it was great. Rosie, you haven't beaten it yet, right?
Yeah. I have.
Oh,
As soon as you like semi-spoil it, because I was like, all right, well, I guess I just gotta beat the game now, because if I don't do it now.
Okay, well, without spoiling it, did you understand the ending, the real ending?
I think so, but like I get it, but it's just one of those things. It's like, oh, I don't have too much of a connection to the old. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, I played all those. I loved them. I was freaking out when I saw that.
So you started at 1. This is actually a good thing to talk about. So what Dragon Quest did you start at? Because
I started at 8.
okay, so did I. So I started at 8. Did you go backwards?
Yeah, I went from 8 to 4, and then after I beat 4, I was like, I should just start from the beginning. So then I went to 1, then did 2, then did 3, and then I'm partway through 5, and I still need to do 6.
Jesus.
And then we did 7, obviously. Well, I did. I thought that was great. I can't believe you quit.
Beast.
Yeah, it's just something about that. I just was like, ugh. They're not like ugh, but it's just like, I'm bored.
Fair enough.
And I think that's when is that when Pillars came out too, which would have killed that for me?
Oh,
Another
maybe.
RPG. Yeah, another
Could've.
RPG came out at the same ah,
No, it
same
definitely
time.
wasn't Pillars. Definitely wasn't Pillars.
Maybe the
But maybe
very,
something else did come out.
I don't know.
All right, JD, hit us up with that news. What's the first topic? We doing Red Dead or what are we doing?
Well, I mean, there's that issue with the crunch for Red Dead.
All those poor workers who slave at the end just for Red Dead and only for Red Dead, never for any other game.
That's sort of the funny thing is I thought so I first saw this on Facebook and I was actually a little bit upset, not at not at Rockstar, but just at the concept. I mean, that's so common though. Like it's if you know anyone that's in like the gaming industry who is still in, or if you hear stories about it, like they talk about that and they emphasize that, you know, hey, as a game gets, you know, before it goes gold, or maybe no, I wouldn't say after it goes gold. Before it goes gold, they're just like fucking gotta crunch this shit out. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's legit called like a crunch time, whatever. And there has been some scandalous. I can't think of any names off the top where people have done it and they've been like, "Yep, it was fucking us." But there's I know there's been some. There's been scandals about it. People working like 80-hour work weeks or more.
God damn.
Which can get aggressive. You know, like they're working 12 hours a day, or 13 or 14 sometimes. Which can be rough. I get it.
And they haven't even mentioned that usually, like a lot of times, they're basically seasonal help. A lot of the coders that they use. I don't even know if that's the case with this group, but I know a lot of the times they're people that they hire just for the crunch time and then they fire them. Well, not fire, but let go right after. So we don't even know if these people are like losing their jobs or what's going on.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. Like, it's kind of a common practice just in general to have, like you said, seasonal workers.
Yeah.
Not like, I mean, not to that degree, that crunch time degree, but, you know, if they lose their jobs, I don't know, I'll kind of expected it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just like when, you know, it's Christmas time and Walmart decides they need a lot of workers just to fuck them over in two months.
You got you got some score to settle.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, let me hijack this story to tell my story about how fuck me.
Sounds pretty rough, Rosie.
Yeah. No, forgive me. Go ahead, keep going.
So yeah, one of the things that they're referring to, and this is coming from Kotaku. I mean, I don't like it, but at least they have a story talking about it. Mentioning Rockstar's crunch culture was an issue back when the first Red Dead dropped, and there was literally a group called the Wives of Rockstar San Diego employees.
Oh, geez.
That would document this stuff, talking about working 12-hour days for 6 days a week.
Oh, boy.
4 months prior to the game's release, in which there was a bit of dissension. Is that the right way of saying it? If you were to leave early, like they were like upset. You know, people would get mad about that stuff.
Yeah. The game's not done.
Yeah, and I mean, the idea behind it is like what some people say is like, hey, lock me up for 100 hours. I don't care, on Facebook. I really don't think people know the like what's required for game design. A lot of times there's like quality control, of course. There's other features that are being added. Sometimes promises. Crunch time can affect that too, when they're like, yeah, we told them we'd put in multiplayer and it wasn't even like built for multiplayer. That's what they're doing. Like stuff like that can be a factor. I don't claim to know everything. I'm just talking about different instances where stuff like that happened, which sucks for some families. But at the same time, it is also something that people that get involved in the industry are aware of. It's weird to see that some people are like act like it's foreign. Rockstar, from what I'm even reading here too, because I didn't know it was this many times that they were accused of it, has had plenty of instances. Max Payne 3, Red Dead, where people are talking about, you know, that crunch time sort of level in it. And I get it, especially if you look at GTA 5. You know, it's that game took a lot just to make that. And yes, it's a work of art. Yes, it's beautiful. And yes, they're going to make a lot of money off of those titles. But at the same time, it does suck for the guys that are doing it. But I wouldn't belittle them to try and say, you know, oh man, give me a fucking controller, I'll do it, because that's not all they're doing. A lot of times they're fixing things. They're making sure certain areas run properly. You know, you can have a dip in the frame rate in a certain area of the map and not know why for like a week.
Yeah.
Or, you know.
Well, and also it's as negative as that is, it's par for the course. I'm assuming they're told that going in, and it's so ingrained in the history that we should know at this point that that's what happens. I mean, I've heard of it happening for forever. The guy that made Chrono Trigger, or one of the guys, can't remember all the names, but he got like, I think it was the Yasunori Mitsuda. He got like horribly ill while making it, and Nobuo Uematsu, or not him. Well, is he the Final Fantasy guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a composer.
He had to take over for that like end stretch because he got super sick. But that's just what they, and not to say it's the right thing, but that's what they've been doing for forever. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, is it the right thing? I don't know, but it's not news per se, you know.
Right. It just comes like Rockstar is really one of those game developers sort of like it's a major staple. Like this is like
it was a big deal.
Yeah, it's like basketball to Koreans in that sense, where it has that much reach. People who don't even play games that much go, yeah, I know GTA. You know, not even because of the controversy, because I mean, fuck, it is always pushing boundaries.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I don't think Red Dead always pushes boundaries. I never took it as that, but I definitely think Red Dead has a better single player experience than GTA does, in my opinion.
That's what I'm super excited for. I never played the other Red Dead. I've always heard good things. I did play the multiplayer, ironically, a little bit, but I've never played the single player. But that's what I always liked out of like a Grand Theft Auto, was trying to get into the single player, and it always felt like a little bit wonky or second nature. Like it always seemed like it was more about exploration. I'm hoping Red Dead will be more narrative. And I know I'm not saying GTA 5 was bad on that. I played it a little bit. It was fun, but I'm really hoping. I have high hopes for Red Dead. It'll be the first Rockstar game I buy on day one.
Really?
Yeah.
I actually bought GTA on day one.
What's up, Eric? Producer Eric's in the chat. GTA makes my children violent, he says. JD, could you go knock on his door and ask him if he's okay?
Addy. Fucking whack, man. Makes my children violent, damn it.
Someone please think of the children.
So there's that story down.
Yeah.
Something to pay attention to.
Really?
The end of it was Kotaku drawing people to call it out if they see it, and that's sort of an issue is how you're going to call it out. A lot of game development in general is not in secretive, but there's a reason why a lot of people don't know what actually goes on in the development cycle unless you're actually trying to pursue it,
or unless you're Konami.
Well, I mean, even that. I mean, you say that, but at the same time, like for making movies, yeah, you can talk about cinematography or stuff like that, but for gaming, you can't talk about, hey, you know, that's really good pacing for level design and blah 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 and all that stuff. You don't have that same discussion, I feel. But anyway, that's besides the point. Next topic.
Yeah.
Next topic is, I was going to talk about Assassin's Creed, but I think the Rockstar thing went on a little bit long. Let's talk about Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Oh, good news for you. Is it on? Is it live? That price drop?
I believe so.
Ooh, excuse me. I'm going to my PS4. I'll be back in 20 minutes.
Oh, it's on Steam. It's on Steam.
Oh, not the PS4 version?
No.
Damn it. I don't want to play it on my computer. That's like a sit on the bed game and play.
Yeah, I agree. So, Shadow of the Tomb Raider is getting a lot of flack for going on sale too soon. The game dropped on the 14th of September. It is now October 23rd at the time of this recording, and it's dropped 34%.
Oh, shit.
For a sale.
So it went to $40. Is that what happened?
Yeah, something like that. And some people are upset and sort of utilizing the review uh, option in Steam to talk about the game. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Tomb Raider, but what do you guys think about the concept of someone utilizing technically a feature that is not reserved for the game, for like the production of the game? I get no, the consuming of the game, consumption of it
Yeah.
for a different purpose. Would you say reviewing or because it got bombed with review scores pretty much where people are just going
Where it was semi-positive, right? Before.
semi-positive and now it's like it's much lower.
Eric's totally right. Sit on the bed and play because it's Lara Croft. LOL. Giggity. Go ahead.
Yeah.
talking about
Nice.
fucking. Go ahead.
But as far as the as far as how that goes in like the review bombs, do you think that's fair?
Absolutely not. But
All right.
it's also freedom of speech. So
I don't know.
I mean, you can be. Here's what you can say is, was it worth the money that you paid? Because prices are so arbitrary. Right now, we're doing $60. What does that even mean? $60 is just a number they've used as a staple. They would charge higher if they wanted to, but they can't because it's a staple. So they do DLC. I mean,
Right.
price is so subjective. We have $60 games that take 8 hours to beat, and then Red Dead is coming out, which is going to be like 100 hours at least. So what's the difference? I mean, the price is so arbitrary. What you need to review a game on or use a review system on is, was it worth what you paid for it?
Right.
They paid
almost like,
Yeah.
is it worth your value rather than is it just like worth? It shouldn't affect any review scores or anything like that. But if I bought a game like day one, it's like, yeah, I'm super excited. Oh my god, $60. It wouldn't honestly affect me, but I can see it affecting other people.
I can see people whining about it.
Right. It
But-
would be like,
Yeah, don't trash the damn game.
trash the company.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Hate
But
the
in this
company.
case, don't hate the game, hate the referee, the coach. I'm trying to find
Who
it.
can I hate?
I'm
Yeah,
trying to
who can
find
I
it.
hate? Who should I hate on today?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think it's a shame because it's a game that people might actually enjoy, that are going to look at that review and get turned off, not realize it has nothing to do with the quality of the game. It has enough to do with bratty teens that missed a cool opportunity.
Self-entitled teens.
What do you think, JD? What was your opinion on that?
I'm eating. Give me a sec.
He's like, Tomb Raider, go! Eat my lasagna.
Carne
No.
asada fries, fam.
Yeah, Eric is saying fun is a metric. Carne asada fries? How's that for your
Yep.
diet?
Awesome. I feel satisfied and I'm good. Who said I was on a diet? I'm drinking beer.
Ooh.
Anyway, someone's got to drink it, right, Eric? Anyway,
So we need this out of the house.
get him out of here,
By
that old
Wednesday.
drunk.
Yeah.
So, I don't think it's fair to do the reviews of it because regardless of how you feel about the game, the rule is, the review is about the game, how it presents itself. It's not about something that is, I can't think of the right word for it, but something that's really time constricted. Like in about 5 months, people aren't going to care about this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
In the sense of like to the point where it affects a review. And you're like, man, 5 months ago, the game came out and then a month later they dropped the fucking score or dropped the price on it. People aren't going to care then, but your review is still going to count in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it seems unfair to try and grade something in that standpoint because you feel like you got ripped off in that sense. Because the other side of this is if that game was like, really good and then it dropped down to that price, you wouldn't be saying shit, even though you bought it for $60. You'd be like, this game sucks. But because the game's decent or you're okay with it and it drops a price, because you pre-ordered it, because you're an adult, You spent that money. You think you're somehow entitled to get your revenge. And I hate using that term entitled, but you think it's right to try and get your revenge on a company who probably won't produce another Tomb Raider. I think this might be the last one. There's a time skip from this one of a couple years, if I remember correctly. So I think this one's pretty much the last one. But the internet doesn't like to feel like someone got something over on them, I feel.
Right, almost like they feel like they've been fooled with some bullshit.
Well,
Yeah,
No,
like
no one fooled you. It's just you just had to pay the full price. You waited one more day.
It's poor Square Enix. They got friggin' caught in a net because if they don't lower the price, nobody's gonna buy it. And then I guess if they lowered the price, now people are giving it a bad score. So nobody's gonna buy it there. Except, well, they might because it's cheaper now. I will because it's cheaper. But I also know that that's what the scores apparently mean. So it just sucks for Square Enix.
yeah. I mean, overall, it has a 77 on Metacritic, 9 out of 10 from IGN. I don't care about the reviews, but I mean, let's just be honest. It's not like it's a complete shit game, but 66% of users like it. I bet you not everyone even got the fucking game.
Can
And
you
they're
review a
like,
game on Steam if you didn't buy it?
no.
I thought you couldn't.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
you can.
Oh,
So you would have had
6
to.
hours. Okay, 6 hours for this guy. 2.4 hours. Oh, I didn't know they say that. Receives the product for free.
Oh, it says it on their thing, on their score.
That's it. Yeah.
Oh, I
19
wish
hours.
that'd be cool.
Now, I will say this, though. Some people are upset because it just doesn't feel that it doesn't feel like it's a long game. I get that in the sense that sometimes people want a lengthier game and it can feel that way, but it doesn't do that. I get it, but at the same time, like, yeah, some of these thumbs downs aren't even like all that much in. I'm talking like 3 hours, 4 hours,
Ninja's saying technically you can review a free-to-play game on Steam. Yeah, but the concept of buying it means that it doesn't necessarily mean that you. The point isn't that you paid for it. It means that you had to have played it, or at least have to have owned it. And hopefully, assuming you owned it, you played it. And also,
Yeah.
what we're saying is it has a time spent on the game as well, so you can see how much time people played it.
Yeah, I think I got a problem with this one. I love Tomb Raider and Rise of the Tomb Raider. This one is extremely boring. I haven't beaten it yet, but hold on, I clicked something. But I have roughly 9 hours played, and I can barely bring myself to keep playing.
Oh, there's something.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I mean, beat it and then come back. Until then,
Yeah, but
So-
don't you think there's something to say if somebody's played? 9 hours is no short
We've had-
time.
that's
Yeah.
correct. But we don't know if that's 9 hours of continuous play. We don't know if that guy was idle. We don't know any of that. It does not give you a statistic. It just says,
Yeah, but
on record.
if he's saying that he played for 9 hours, I mean, you can
Right.
take his
yeah, let me
review.
believe the guy on the internet.
You could. Well, that's what
Well,
you're
no,
using.
not
We're talking
believing
about.
It's just he may have some clout in what he's saying, rather than I hate this game because like it was $30 off, or he got
Okay. Well, let's switch that then. Let's switch that to him saying, I fucking hate this game, but he's got 9 hours. Is it still a worthy opinion at that point?
I think
No,
it's.
or
I
should
think
not-
it's something to consider.
It's not constructive criticism. Like
It's not.
gives
a
a
lot of
reason,
people.
but he gives a reason like why he didn't like it. He's like it's just kind of boring. Like that's something that I can hear one of us saying like, hey, I don't like this game. Why? I played it for like 5 hours. It's all right. Like
Yeah.
it's
Hey,
not-
hey, Rosie, remember that the Summon Night 6 that I played?
when you gonna get back on that?
I played it for 3 to 4 hours and completely bailed. I don't think you need me to beat that game to tell you.
Right.
It ain't.
And I know.
It ain't magic.
Well, here's one, 3 hours. I'm really trying hard to enjoy this game, but I can't. And then he
It's
goes into a scene about the exploration of it, and he says, I don't like the exploration. Okay,
Okay.
Still,
that's fine.
I
But
you know,
that's-
and you don't have to fully accept the reviews, but you can take that with a grain of salt. Say, okay, well, he thought the exploration was bad. Are other people saying exploration is bad? And you can,
Well, actually, I think people are saying the combat is a problem because it's the same shit, but the exploration is cool because the game looks good. So maybe I mean, yeah, you're gonna. It's subjective, right? But
Right.
at the same time, man, I just feel like I don't know.
But yeah,
I got a
definitely
problem.
definitely trust the guy with the higher play time. That would be
Yeah,
better.
yeah, I would definitely focus more on that, and then at least listen to what the guy's saying, not just it fucking sucks.
Well, case in point, when I played Dragon Quest, the first 10 hours I played it, I actually didn't like the exploration. I thought it was really restrictive because it works in zones instead of like Dragon Quest 8's open worldness.
Right.
It works in more zones, and I didn't like it as much. But it kind of opens itself. I mean, not exactly, but it opens itself up more later. So yeah, like the end game review is very different from the beginning game review, which fits into what you're saying, JD.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what I mean. You gotta look at the whole experience. I can tell you, as for an example, for something like The Witcher or even MGS5, the game. Okay, MGS5, the game was more fun in the beginning because you had less shit. When your R&D department goes nuts and you got everything, different story. I'm not saying
Really?
it's boring. I'm not saying it's boring, but you know.
But that's when I got to do goofier and goofier shit.
So
Yeah,
wait,
the game
JD, you're
definitely-
saying it gets worse?
No, I'm not saying it gets worse. I'm just saying it spikes at the beginning, and then it sort of plateaus for the remainder of the game. It's not something where I'm just like, God fucking damn, this game is shit, you know, every single time. There are some parts, right? There's absolutely some parts that are really good, especially in the middle or end of the game, which is why I keep telling you to play it, Spence.
Yeah, you know what? You're right in a way, because like if you're being like efficient, you know what I mean? It was very boring because you use like the dog or the D-Wolf and just kind of have the silent shrink and just blast everything away. But we actually started doing the goofy shit, like bringing down like the that mech you get and like flying around with that bullshit, and like just like dropping boxes on people's heads and shit like that, or getting the little floaty thing or the floaty version of yourself, saying you're pretty good, kid, just constantly. It was like that was when it got fun, like again, because yeah, you're right. Because when I was like just playing it as like I'm just gonna use the best shit and that's it, it was boring. Because you wouldn't necessarily try new things. You just kind of just went with the motion.
Yeah, which is, I mean, that's that game's strength, but I don't know. Just an example. And for The Witcher, the game got way more fun the more I went on because I felt less of a bitch and more like a fucking Witcher. You know? You don't even get the crossbow until you fight the Griffin, you know?
It's true that. Well, that happens almost immediately.
Is it immediate? I was doing another mission.
That's the Griffin is the first, like...
It's not a continuous thing.
Big
you can
beast
do
you
other
take
stuff.
down.
Yeah, it's the first major beast, but that they can... Come on, man. You probably might have went straight for it.
No, you get like if you're doing everything, you get like 4, maybe 5 hours. So I guess I could see it. Okay, yeah.
I'm just saying some games need to simmer.
Rosie, have you ever played a game that needed to simmer for you?
I missed a little bit. For some reason, the volume went down for me. What was the last thing? It was just that.
Just died and he cursed. So
yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. Rosie, have you played a game that if you were to review it early, you would have hated it, but later on, at the end of it, you realize it was a lot better? Or maybe the other way around. I don't know.
Honestly, Resident Evil 5 would have been one. Because I played that game. I hated it. I didn't think it was anything like the other one. It was like way too action packed. And I was just like, this is boring as fuck, and I'm done. But like I kept like my buddy wanted to play with me, and so when I actually played it, I was like, oh fuck! Like when we actually started doing shit together, it was like way cooler, way more enjoyable.
Yeah. And there you go.
Yep.
That
No.
makes sense.
Yeah.
So we're good on that topic.
Yeah. What's next?
There was a thing about Soul Calibur, but
Oh, that game's coming out. You're getting that, right?
it's already out.
It's already out.
Oh, it's already out.
Yeah. I mean, I'm indifferent. I don't
I
know,
thought
like
you were
Soul
excited
Calibur's
for
funny.
it. I thought you were excited.
No, I was gonna play it, but I don't know if I was like, oh my god. But no, that's not what I want to talk about. In that case, it's a review on it. I forgot where I was gonna go with it, but fuck it. Anyway, let's see here. Oh, did you guys see that This is just a sort of a one-off because I thought it was pretty funny. You guys see that Sean Bean is gonna be in Hitman 2?
No, I didn't see
What?
that. Is he? So he's gonna die. He's gonna get killed.
Yeah, and the entire ad is run like I've avoided death multiple times. He's like, it's like a game to me, and I'm just like, they are playing up this motherfucker, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, that's
and
funny.
he is committed to the role. Like it's like a minute and a half of him just talking about, the ways that he's avoided death, how he can kill somebody, and I'm like, that's sick. So he's the celebrity target.
Oh, nice.
In that sense. So I'm like, that's pretty cool. I like that. That's good. It's good business.
Good business.
Be a Neil. So
Oh,
that's
man,
cool.
I'm on the fence on that game.
Hitman 2?
Yeah, I liked the other Hitman. I don't know if I liked it enough.
Never played a single one.
Oh, it's pretty good.
So-
It's good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. If
I
it's super
tried it, but I never played them like to completion. I think I played the worst one. Not the one that came out recently. The one before it. What was it called?
It's like the confidential files one or something like that. Was that it?
No.
Or are you talking about with the nuns?
Yeah, the nuns.
Side note, that movie sucks.
Hitman the Nuns.
Yeah, none of your business.
Oh, that's a good pun.
So ridiculous.
Eric saying Hitman movie was better than the game. The last Hitman I
I
played
don't
was
think-
pretty damn good.
The Hitman movie was trash, brother.
It's like, I think it's like 19% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And then the other one's like 18 or something. I could have sworn I saw a thumbnail about that. It's
Wait, how
funny.
many Hitman movies are there?
There's two.
There's 2 Hitman movies?
Yeah, there's two.
Oh, jeez. How does that happen?
I don't know.
There's Agent 43, and then there's the Hitman one. Hitman, the first one's 2007. Agent 47. I'm sorry.
How do
It's
you
2015.
how do you cast Agent 47? You say we need
Get a
somebody.
white guy.
You look
Get
like
a
you.
skinhead.
Yeah, shave your head and you look like you'd fit in with a crowd. Go ahead. Here's it, man.
The worst part is he looks like a very weird Rupert Friend is his name. He looks like a very awkward Orlando Bloom.
Oh, I know who. Yeah, I've seen him.
I legit thought
please.
that he was Orlando Bloom at first, and I was like, "What the fuck is he doing here?" Nope.
The last thing I heard Orlando Bloom do wasn't a movie. It was him punching Justin Bieber. I think that's the last thing I heard of him doing.
Did he punch Justin Bieber?
He did
Oh
s-
yeah, in a bar or some shit.
Yeah, I haven't. Maybe the Biebs eliminated his Hollywood career through song.
Have you guys ever seen that picture of Justin Bieber looking mad?
No.
Is it funny?
It's so fucking funny. Like I need to find it. Justin Bieber angry. Maybe it's that one.
Ninja says
There-
that the second one is the better action movie.
Oh, I mean, I think it's more gory for sure. God damn it.
Isn't it PG-13?
I think it's R actually.
I didn't know it was a pirate movie.
You're so dumb, dude.
You're so stupid.
He's so
Hey.
stupid.
Nope.
Fuck, I can't find it. It's on my phone. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Dude, this shit is. Fuck, I was crying when I saw it. It's just because
You should
I
let
don't
me.
know.
You should let me get my mitts on it. I'll make it a PNG and put it on our podcast thing.
That's why I'm sending it to you.
Oh. Very.
Oh, that makes sense now. That makes sense.
It's all so clear.
Oh,
And
yeah.
ironically, he's wearing an Orlando shirt, so maybe that's why he's mad.
Yeah.
Fucking god.
I'm your biggest fan.
Yeah.
Just
Big Legolas fan just got laid down.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen Jerry Seinfeld turn down Kesha for a hug.
Yes, I saw that. That was awesome.
That is so cringy. She's like, "Ah, come on, can I get no, no." I don't hate Kesha. I can't lie. I've definitely, drunk.
Isn't it Keisha?
No, it's Kesha.
it's Kesha.
Okay.
Fucking God damn.
You
I
just
can't
fall into the trap every time. I don't know how you keep
You
doing
bugging, dog.
Yeah,
You
I- You got me good that time.
that.
bugging.
I was about to fucking just completely rail.
He's like, "No, dog. It's Kesha."
You fucking idiot! Come on.
Come
I
on,
do not
man.
know the rest.
Come on, brother.
Come on, brother.
Yeah. So, all right. So that's an interesting thing. One thing I did want to ask you guys. All right. So I'm on r/games at this point on Reddit, obviously, and there's a topic where it's called the misunderstanding of Quantum Break, and
I played that.
What? Yes. So that's actually something I wanted to bring up.
There's footage of me on Twitch falling asleep to that game.
Oh, God.
You should have woke up and be like, clip that. Clip that. So one thing I will say about Quantum Break that's actually really good is the spectacle of it.
Yeah.
Right? You're slowing down and stuff like that. The explosion is really nice. I don't know about the rest of the game. Obviously, you're the only one that played it. It's always been one of those games where I've been like, I should play it just so I can understand it. I get that there's a lot of a story to like a TV show to it, but that got me thinking. What is a game that you guys have that's sort of like a guilty pleasure? Something that you've played or want to play that people are just like, it's the worst fucking thing ever.
Spy Fiction on the PS2.
What is that?
I know what that is.
Yeah, you do. I knew someone here who had to know. I'm surprised it's you, Spencer, but it's like a fucking poor...
Oh my God, this looks awful. The main character looks stupid alone. His hair looks blown the fuck back.
Oh, it's like a fucking poor man's Metal Gear Solid. It is that bad, but I fucking love the corniness and how awful it is.
So you've beaten this?
Yes, I have.
Oh.
Is that Revolver Ocelot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Damn, this is a poor man's Spider-Man. Not Spider-Man.
It's Revolver Ocelot Diet Coke.
Yeah, right. It's RC Cola Ocelot. Fucking A. This is awful, but that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. What you got, Spence?
There's a I don't know if it's. I actually heard it was kind of good, and it's funny. Eric just said Pokemon Go is his guilty pleasure. I mean, that's a pretty popular ass game. I think it made like $80 million last month or something. But ironically, he said Pokemon. I've always wanted to play very quietly the Pokemon trading card game on the Game Boy Color.
That's a good game.
I always heard it was okay. I never learned how to play the card game. It would only be for nostalgia's sake because I have no real ties to it or anything, and I would basically have to learn how to play a card game, but on a Game Boy Advance. And every time I pass by it on the 3DS eShop, I'm like tempted.
Yeah, get it, man. It literally teaches you how to play the game right off the bat.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how
fucking better.
How could it not? But I've always kind of wanted to do that, and I feel like such a lame ass because I mean I missed the boat on that one. That was a long time ago.
Many moons. Huh.
That's and what was yours, Jay?
Well, I mean, Quantum Break is one, but it's not like a real guilty, like absolute fucking guilty pleasure. What's that game called? Shit, I can't think of the name of it. Binary
Domain.
Yes, Binary Domain. Not like super crazy guilty, but it reminds me of that PS3, PS2 era, which your game actually reminds me of too. And then another one which I have beaten is that I still like because I like stealth games is Alpha Protocol.
Ooh, that's a good pull though.
Yeah, that game is fucking awful, but I had so much fun.
Ooh, yeah. You know what? I played on the Xbox 360 when this is like over a decade ago. I was super destitute, didn't have a job or anything, and I played a burnt copy of Star Wars: The Force Unleashed 2. Yeah. And damn it if it wasn't one of the most fun experiences of my gaming career.
I get to throw these motherfuckers. No, that'll get you for sure. Yeah, I think any game that has like a spy, like a Jason Bourne style spy setup in it, I'm usually down. It's bad, but like that's why I love Mission Impossible so much. I mean, those are great films, but that's also why I love it so much because I just like that environment.
What is it about that spy stuff that's so attractive?
It's the same thing with pirates. I tried to explain this to my brother. It's like I really love pirates. I've come to realize.
Why don't we play? Oh yeah,
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I was just and I immediately
Not
knew
play
why.
safe games.
We will fucking not. I've thought about it, and man, I've watched plenty of compilations of like the funniest things that happen in that shit. But not, dude.
Yeah, that's
Um,
that thing happened once in like a 30-hour period. Keep that in
Mhm.
mind too.
Hey man, the payoff. You know what I'm saying? It's like getting rare drops.
Yeah.
So, but it's experiences, and you'll never get them again.
You'll never get them back. Your time.
Yeah. No, I think for pirates, it's just because I like the whole privateering thing. So I've come to realize Black Flag, for instance, is my favorite Assassin's Creed now. It's because I've just come to appreciate. All right, we're on the sea, take what you want, kind of thing. The styles, the clothing that they wear, and all that shit. And then for spies, like the CQC shit, the gunfights, the creative. I wouldn't even say gadgets. I would say creative plots sometimes are really good. I love the porn series. You know, I like all that shit. So I don't know. It's fucking something in my blood. But whatever. Anyway,
Rosie, what's
yeah.
one genre that you hold very dear?
You mean like RPGs? What are we talking about?
shooters.
Oh my god!
No.
Were you not listening the past like 5 minutes?
Yeah, but I mean, I like space. Like I like literally like the Star Wars-y kind of world. One genre or one like
Setting or
world
something?
setting that I would like to play, and I never play any of them because I don't know how to get into them, is the Warhammer series. It seems like so
You mean the 40,
like up,
40K or?
yeah, 40K, yeah, 40K Warhammer. I see that's what I mean. Like I don't know exactly what the name of the like that game is essentially, but because it seems like everything will be up my alley. Like it's got space marines, it's got fucking weird dumb orcs, but they have like rules to them that like they're so dumb that like their shit just works. Like if someone explained it to me right, it's like whatever they truly believe in, it just happens. Like someone said, like if anyone out there knows the world and fiction, let me know. But like if orcs believe that like if they put flames on their spaceship, it makes the spaceship go faster, and because they believe in it, it actually does happen like that.
Isn't that like how real life works?
No. Wish my car be the quickest fucking thing in the world.
Yeah. Just believe in yourself.
Believe it, brother.
Shut the fuck up.
You were doing it just a second ago.
No, I'm fucking with you, dog. I'm fucking with you.
Why you like this?
Yeah, no, hell no. I will say, Spencer, what's a
Yeah.
is it visual novels that's got you?
Those hentai. No, it's the fantasy setting. You could play any game if it has a fantasy setting. I'm immediately like 100% more comfortable with it.
Dark fantasy?
No, light fantasy. That's a good distinction. Yeah,
Sci-fi fantasy?
I don't naturally like dark fantasy.
He would go Dragon Quest rather than Dragon Age.
Yeah.
But then again, The Witcher.
Right, that's why Witcher's so good. Is it's really the antithesis of a lot of things I like, but it's just so good that it's like, all right, you're in.
Fuck it.
But it should be like Dragon Quest is perfect for what I like.
And the thing about Witcher though, it has like it's dark, but at the same time, just a lot of light moments to it too.
Yeah.
Like at one point,
Yeah, like when that baby.
Yeah, when you have to bury the fetus and then let the fetus come out, like the spirit of it.
I'm sorry,
and
Rosie,
then
I
guide you.
jumped straight to that. I was like, hell no. That shit is scary as fuck, man.
right, I know there's like some really fucked up moments, but then it's like you're in you're solving a case by playing a fucking card game like fucking nerds. Do you remember that quest line? You probably did the other option.
I didn't play Gwent.
Yeah, I didn't play Gwent.
You fucking. I hate you guys. So like, Gwent's
Too busy
so good.
playing the Pokemon trading card game.
Dude, I didn't have time. Like, to be honest, I was just like, fuck, I don't want to pick up this game and learn another game within it. It's gonna be too complicated for me.
You know what the worst thing is? I first time playing through Witcher, I wasted so much time playing Gwent to the point where I didn't beat the game like right off the bat. Like I played like I wanted all the cards, and anybody who even wanted to challenge me was getting that ass rocked. Know what I mean?
Oh, jeez. Beat the shit out of that card game.
Yeah.
Let me see your ass. It's about to get rocked. Fucking gross.
Gross, Carol.
How much more time we got? Because I got another one for you guys.
Oh yeah, let's go.
There is no
Let's keep
time
going.
limit. Yeah, throw it
Yeah.
out.
Come on, let's just have some fun.
My time is money. All right.
Do you need to
Anyway.
go somewhere, brother?
Shut up.
Yeah, he says my time is money. As soon as the stream ends, Eric, put your ear against the door.
It'll be up your picture.
Ninja says fantasy should be a huge genre that a big reason we game to escape reality. Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
I can
that's
think
why-
I could play Hitman and skip reality. That's not
Ninja,
exactly.
that's why I love you, man. Because that's right. Like that's why I don't get like Madden and bullshit. I'm like, do you guys just want to play football? Nah, brother. I just want to fucking pretend like I'm fucking Eli Manning. It's like, no, let's go out and play a fucking game of football.
That's the wrong Manning to pretend.
Yeah, I want to be Eli Manning.
I don't watch.
It's Peyton
football.
Manning. He's the one that does the commercials now.
He's been doing the commercials, man.
Well, yeah, Eli might have done one, but that's only because his
He
brother
did a
was
couple.
cool.
Too. Yeah, well, I mean, they both have good charisma. Anyway, I can't believe we're talking about this. I forgot what I was gonna fucking say about sports. Anyway,
Wanna play some
anyway,
Let's play some
No.
sports.
hell no. I mean, okay, I get you in that one, Eric, Rosie, because here's the thing: is I don't want to turn on a sports game that's realistic. I wouldn't
Right.
even say escape. Like, not all the time am I trying to do escapism. Like, if I'm playing Final Fantasy 14, I'm not getting immersed
Right.
unless it's new content. Like, it's usually stuff I've already done before. But I'll be like catching up on like Daredevil, or shit like that. Like, that's what I'll be doing. I've been
Well,
reading a lot of.
when I was playing World of Warcraft, I felt super immersed. Like when I was into it, and then when I didn't feel immersed, that's when it ended. When it became like more of a job, that's when the immersion stopped, and that's when the fun stopped. But when I was loving World of Warcraft, I felt immersed every time I logged on, and it was wonderful.
Was it because you're logging in at that point, though, or logging in and actually trying to hit the max level?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish there were games that perpetually kept you in that stage. That's why I like playing the Old Republic, is because we're not at max level. It's just fun to do the shit
Yeah.
and fuck around, and everyone gets a say. It's good.
Yeah, and Rosie ditches us, and that's pretty much how it goes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest.
He's
I'm
he's
not-
playing Xbox One with his pals.
Fucking. I don't know who I am to you.
You're my friend.
But at the same time, I also look at games where that fantasy is a big thing, and I can tell you my guiltiest pleasure out of like every fucking thing is having characters where you have like dialogue wheels, like games with dialogue wheels, and I'm not talking like your fucking like Heavy Rain and shit. No, I'm talking like the Old
Fallout?
Republic, Knights of the Old Republic, BioWare games for the most part anyway.
I hate the fucking chat wheel nowadays.
Yeah, it's not as good as it used to be. That's why I kept playing Divinity so much, is because I was like, I like my character being able to do whatever the fuck he wants. I hit a wall in that game, which is why I stopped playing. But stuff like that is probably my guiltiest pleasure, being able to create relationships with people, and like you can kick someone off your team because you guys disagree with each other. Knights of the Old Republic 2, that happens often. So, shit like that, or it's very likely to happen if you're not careful.
Man, that's a good point. That whole chat wheel thing really started around late. Well, I mean, it started with Xbox,
And like
was when it got really
2000s.
popular. But then,
Yeah.
then the next generation, it became a thing. But I don't know. To me, there's something to be said for games that don't do that at all. And I'm thinking immediately of Dragon Quest XI, never making a decision ever, and I guess I was okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah. This is some just like
Never
in
heard
RPGs. No, because he's right. And then there's when I get a choice in games, it's like the most like I always think about the bad ending as soon as you get choices or like chat wheels. If you say the wrong thing to this person, like, oh fuck, are you gonna like? Is this gonna be how this game ends? Because there's some choices in Dragon Quest 11 in which I was just like, is this how I'm gonna get the bad ending if I say the wrong thing to him? Like, I'll just say it like this. What about the mermaid? What'd you do? I guess don't tell me what you did actually, but because there may be some. But the mermaid quest though, remember?
Loved it. That was one of my favorite quests in the game.
Yeah, but which choice did you make? Is I guess I will have to talk off because I really want to know your answer. Talk off stream on that one because
what your point being? What's your point by bringing it up?
Well, actual choices in RPGs like that freaked me out because I figured that it was like, okay, this if I make the wrong choice here, I'm gonna get the bad ending. You know?
Oh, okay. Although really,
so even with the chat wheels, it was the same thing. If I say the wrong thing to somebody and they end up being pissed off or something,
is it maybe that the choices give a little bit of a stress to the game?
Yeah,
that
that's what
we didn't have before.
Yeah, it's a good. Like, it's just one of those things that just I was like, like, I hope you're not mad at me. Just please. Just want to just be my friend, please.
Fear the wheel.
Yeah.
No, but I like him in a lot of things. But it's playing like every game like that and then having one that doesn't have it is kind of
refreshing.
A little break. A little 120-hour break.
Speaking of 120 hours, another topic on r/games. The title is, as an adult, I don't want my single player experiences to last over 60 hours.
Jesus. Who would play a game for 60 hours?
Really? I think in recent memory, I'm trying to think of the game that I played. It's probably Monster Hunter, to be honest. I played more than 200 and I think 20 hours of Monster Hunter.
That's it?
Okay, it's a competition. Fucking, I forgot we're on the internet. Everyone's got to measure fucking everything.
Rosie, I can't see you, but your dick is huge.
Yeah, right.
It's pretty fucking big.
Basically a Leviathan.
I bet you not even playing Black Ops, I could probably 1v1 you and beat you.
Yeah, probably. You're really good at FPSs.
You're supposed to run with that.
No, I mean I've seen your
chill, dog. Chill. We all know. Fuck. All right, you're a beast of the game. Shit. Anyway, moving on. As an adult, I don't want my single player experience to last over 60 hours. It's an issue where people as adults, imagine that, are upset that their games last for an extended period of time. Do you guys think with getting older that can affect your enjoyment of a game?
No.
Go ahead. Why?
So pissed because if you enjoy the game, that it doesn't matter how long the game is, as long as you're enjoying it. Like if I'm like, oh, this is boring as fuck, like then I just like, oh, I want this fucking. I kind of have to wait, play to the end of it, but.
Well, okay, I might have a really bad example, but let's just try this. What about you're really into, I don't know, your favorite store is making soup, right? They give you your favorite soup in a small bowl, and you eat it. You enjoy it, but at the same time, you're thinking in your head, I want fucking more. But there's a certain satisfaction that comes with completing that bowl. Maybe you'll get seconds or something like that, or maybe you just get one larger bowl. But after you're done with it, there's the satisfaction of eating the bowl of soup, right?
Here's the thing about me, brother.
Uh-oh.
Let me tell you something.
God. Yeah, young blood.
Here's the thing about soup.
No. I want that soup as big as possible. Because you know what? If I enjoyed the soup the first time and I don't finish it, I always have more. I've always got.
You got to reheat it.
Yeah, I can reheat that soup and eat some more later.
All right. What about this? Trilogy that is split up. Let's look at The Hobbit. Let's imagine like we were all really hyped for The Hobbit and they weren't like really just cash grabs and maybe not the best films. Imagine if like they were actually good films.
Not the best films is the best review I've ever heard of The Hobbit.
I'm pretty sure it's better than Star Wars 1, 2, and 3 at the very least.
Oh, yeah.
So
okay.
It's not it's got some stuff going.
Well, Star Wars
on.
1, 2, and 3 didn't get not the best films as a review either.
Depends on ask, man. Come on. Oh man.
I will counter Rosie. I think, not that I don't want games to be long, but there is something to be said for a nice, tight, concise package. I think 15 hours is a beautiful amount of time.
It's all about pacing. Like, if a game does drag on, it's, then I play games that are like 10 hours long. It's like, yeah, this is the best. And I play games that are 60 hours. And I'm like, yeah, this is great. But I have also played games that are like 8 hours. I'm like, that's it? Like, we're done? The fuck? And then games that are like I said before, like I'm 30 hours in. I'm like, oh, fuck, I got to finish the game. But I'm not really loving it. So, whatever. Just keep going.
I think if I feel like my money was worth it, then it's good. And it doesn't matter how long it is.
That's my whole point, though.
It does have to be over like 2 hours, though, for sure.
Yeah, like what's that game that people kind of got in its case? It's like The Order 18 something or something.
1886.
1886, where everyone's like, "Oh, this game's like really pretty, really nice looking," but fuck, is this game short? Like, did they get their money's worth because how pretty it was? Or I guess I'm kind of just asking y'all, like, crowd, but I'm just like, what do y'all think? Like, do you think a game like that is worth it? Like, worth the $60?
I would ask the gaming community that played it, and
right, yeah,
on that one, because that's you on that one you got to do some homework and be like, do I really? And no, I would wager, having not played it, probably wouldn't be worth $60 knowing it's really short, but
right.
Haven't played it, so I'd have to parlay that to somebody else. I think JD played it. I think you reviewed it.
Yeah, it's on the fucking channel.
Yeah.
One of the few videos I edited.
Yeah, I remember that. So yeah, I was kind of hinting like, what's your take on that one?
So I think there's a level of, it's what you enjoy from it. Like all right, so unpopular opinion, right? Maybe that should be our next one. Unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
In this case, I had fun with the game. I thought certain aspects, like the stealth scenes, were a little bit too weird because they're supposed to be making me a badass, and I get one-shotted and die very gruesomely in that game. So maybe there was a sense of direction that was not congruent with the rest of the game in that sense. But overall, I had no problem with it. I didn't even spend. Who bought it?
Maybe
did I buy it?
I don't know. I assume
or did we borrow it?
I don't know. Eric said he played it. Eric said he played it and beat it. He wanted more at the end and felt shorted. Not
okay, and I guess that's the point that we're at. Yeah, for $60, if you really love that sort of that London setup and you love werewolves and all that shit, yeah, you're gonna have a blast. But if you're like, you're like, I'm not really sure about the IP. If this is a make or break thing, it is absolutely gonna break you, as far as the game goes. But at the same time, why is it that I can spend almost 250 hours in Monster Hunter, and Troy can't even play for a couple minutes, and it has all the things that he loves? There's a difference of what we prioritize. Me and Troy, as an example, are consistent when it comes to Devil May Cry, right? We both love Devil May Cry. It's fast, it's frantic, the stories are garbage usually, and it's just like intense. All it is just for that style, right? Mm-hmm. But then we branch off when we play our own games sometimes. He's really into Fallout. I'm not the most into Fallout, as an example. I mean, I like Fallout, but I don't like Fallout as much as him. We're talking about a guy that, whose wife, I think, alone found the last Nuka-Cola that was in like North Las Vegas. So it's a big deal. Because they're that committed to it, that kind of stuff. He got the Pip-Boy edition of Fallout 4, like stuff like that. He's really into that, and that's a slower game, but he appreciates it more because he grew up with it. And we could jump it.
JD, Eric says the controls in Monster Hunter are shit, super sticky like his laptop. Don't touch anything, JD.
Oh, I'm not surprised. Anyway, No, but my point is that there's those differences between what we value, what we like, what we don't like, and that's my concern. Is maybe I really like the Victorian stuff, and I had a lot of fun with it. I do like the Victorian stuff, and I had a lot of fun with it just for what it was. But to go back and bring it back to our sort of experiences, just over when we're talking about hours in general, I have a really hard time playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Like a really hard time. Like it's not like the game sucks. There's too much to fucking do.
I had a hard time with Origins.
I had more fun playing Origins because I wasn't going to a new place and getting 50 fucking quests in addition to dailies. You know?
I thought the Origins was a worse version of a lot of other games. It wasn't a bad game, just a worse version.
Well, I mean, hey, to each their own in that sense. But I had no problem with Origins because it was the first to do the combat better than any of the other Assassin's Creeds. The rest of them were button mashing, especially Syndicate. It was button mashy. Origins focused a little bit more on, hey, waiting for the time to strike kind of stuff, and this one does that too. But there are differences. Either way, me beating Spider-Man, it was a complete package, right? I got my
how many hours was that?
Like 40.
That's a good time.
Yeah,
I was doing some other stuff too.
That's actually longer than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, I was doing a lot of
side quests and shit.
Yeah, and I was literally finishing up Iron Fist season 2. Like that's my experience. Is I remember watching Iron Fist the entire time and playing that game. And by the time Iron Fist was done, I was pretty much at the end of the game. So yeah, I guess maybe a little bit longer than that. Than 40, if anything. But yeah, I had a good time with that game, and it was complete. I think that's what it sort of dials down to at the end of the day, the completeness. I think this person's argument is more about the fact that he doesn't have all the time in the world anymore, which can be a factor, but it's really going to only affect people who have obligations that can't be ignored in that sense. I'm not saying like, oh, you don't have to eat. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you have a kid. That is obviously more important than playing a game.
Well, let's not go crazy now.
But in this case, other things like he brings up this example. He goes, if you check the achievements for previous Assassin's Creed Origins, it's a shared sentiment that the world is big. He goes, only 30% of players actually have an achievement for finishing the game, and only 15% for in covering the entire map. Now, I think this is dated. And I don't know what.
Yeah, but who cares?
Talking about it's under. Yeah, I mean that's a good point because that's more of uncovering the entire map is at the discretion of the player. I'm probably not going to uncover the entire map in Odyssey. There's too much fucking shit, and I don't feel like I'm rewarded enough for doing it. Meanwhile, I uncovered the entire map in Fallout because gear,
Right.
There's a difference, I think.
That argument sounds like people yelling at For Honor for having too many DLC items. Like they said that to buy all the DLC it would cost you like $3,000, but it's like you don't have to buy it all. You can just do whatever you want.
I don't think it's entirely the same because money's involved on that one.
Right.
But I get your point about people wanting to be completionists. Like I need to complete this. No, you don't. No one told you that.
Yeah, no one told you.
Just have fun with what you got. Like with beating The Witcher, you didn't do a lot of side quests. Now, I'm not going to say that ruined your experience. I think it did, actually.
Well, I played it again. I did most of the side quests.
Oh, snaps. Upgrade.
But the game was worth it.
I can definitely tell you that those side quests are for those kinds of people.
Yeah,
people that want to feel like they've bought a game. Like, you know what it boils down to, this entire thing? How do you judge $60?
I still want to say that, like, a game length doesn't really matter to me. Because even if you play a game for 30 minutes, which sometimes we play a game for only 30 minutes, did you enjoy it for that 30 minutes? Yes. So why does it matter how long it takes you to actually complete a game? Like you say, you're just some sort of completionist that needs to beat games. Like, do you really need to beat the game to enjoy it, or do you just want to play the game to enjoy it?
Well, some people are neurotic. A lot of people are neurotic.
Like, I mean,
that's what the games. A lot of games are built that way now, as checklists, because they know people obsess over them.
then I mean, I feel like people are playing games wrong.
Huh? No way to play a game wrong if you're enjoying it.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say it too. Like, if you're playing the game, that's how you enjoy games. So you enjoy a game. But
Eric's talking about Zelda. He says newest Zelda game, you can beat it in what, 5 hours, or you can collect every Deku seed and get a golden poop.
Golden poop.
I guess you could beat it in 5 hours. That'd be hard, I would think, but certainly possible.
Well, I think the decision at the end of the day is just purchase what you like, and this ties into Tomb Raider actually. Purchase what you like. If you think it's going to be worth it, the only person that you can blame if it's not an experience that you appreciate is, I mean, you can blame the developer in that sense. You can be like, hey, this wasn't. I wouldn't say this isn't what I signed up for, because you don't know what it is. Like God of War, for instance. When God of War was first announced, people were losing their minds because they're like, I hate this over-the-shoulder shit. And then it became a really fucking great game. And then people were like, oh, man, I knew all along it was going to be good. Proper direction. It's like one of those situations where you have to look, well, I guess, critically.
Also, as kind of a side comment, if he's using Assassin's Creed as the baseline for quality in games, he might want to reevaluate what he's playing
disagree.
A little bit.
I would disagree.
You would disagree?
Yeah, I would disagree.
Because I think
too.
you should play more Assassin's Creed before you say that. Because you haven't played Black Flag. You haven't played 2.
I have played Black Flag.
Have you beaten Black Flag?
No, I didn't. I wasn't interested in it enough. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not saying they're bad, but they're
I'm naming the better versions for you to understand what it has to offer.
Yeah,
right?
I played
subjective.
A little bit of that one, and it wasn't that great. Like there's really really good games that are long that I would look at instead, Witcher being one of them, and just say like, well, these games take that length and you appreciate it because there's so much great things to do and so fluid and everything's wonderful. And I would take that over an example like Assassin's Creed.
I don't know how Assassin's Creed are played out now, but like Black Flag had a nice balance between the ship combat, which is the last one. Black Flag was the last one I played. Ship combat and actually being an assassin. I gotta say, being an assassin was boring as fuck. But anytime I got bored with it, I just did ship shit.
And I think your example of The Witcher is really just trying to fit that into every hole in that sense. You're trying to kill a cockroach with a sledgehammer at that point.
Well, I mean, there's other things you could argue. I mean, Fallout 4 has tons of playtime. Grand Theft Auto, there are plenty of games. Go ahead.
Those are judged on different things in that sense, though. For Fallout, you can beat that game in like 5 hours.
Yeah,
you can speedrun the fuck out of that game.
Nobody wants to do that. They like the world. They like
how do you think they found out how easy it was to beat? Because people wanted to do that. Man.
Well, there's a group of people that obsess over speed runs, but I'm pretty confident.
Or if you're on survival mode, or if you're playing on the hardest difficulty, it becomes a different story.
Eric's saying he agrees with Rosie and JD. Assassin's Creed is an amazing entry point for gamers, but they're not talking about entry point for gamers. This is r/gaming trying to give.
And here's the thing about it. And here's the thing about someone who's playing Assassin's Creed. Like, are you playing every Assassin's Creed? Because I can tell you, like, some of them don't, they don't change the wheel. Sometimes they change like maybe one or two things about it, but they feel almost similar, like the same thing with just a couple extra knickknacks here and there. Or a different setting, or just a different story altogether, but they play almost mechanically the same.
I would say for the most part, yes. Like the first Assassin's Creed is your bare essential. Assassin's Creed 2 is the best thing about it is the better story, the better protagonist. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, the inclusion of you being the king or the leader of the assassins. Assassin's Creed Revelations, sort of the same thing as Brotherhood. And then when you jump to 3, we're talking about now you have ship combat, Black Flag ship combat, Assassin's more exploration. You're more landlocked in Assassin's Creed 3. When you jump to, I've never played Rogue, so I can't speak for Rogue, and I've never played Liberation, so I can't speak to that one. But jumping to, say, Unity is, I think you're not even on a ship on that one. And same thing with Unity is shitty story. Apparently, they're just trying to boast how multiplayer can be involved in the game. Multiplayer sucks and is abandoned. Cooperative multiplayer, competitive was still a thing in Assassin's Creed Revelations, but like they had their give and takes. The first major points where they're actually different is when you're talking about Origins and Odyssey, from compared to something like Black Flag, where or Syndicate, where it's more about the combat's different. You have in Origins, you don't really have if I remember correctly, you don't have a ship, right? You have boats.
Here's a weird thing. I got that game because it was games with gold. I installed it. I never even touched that fucking game.
Probably not the definitive game. I don't think it's bad. I do agree with Spencer in the sense that, hey, at the end of the day, there are some better, games that do it better and whatnot. But I definitely think that in this case, something like maybe Origins. Origins is a good game overall. I think I'm just suffering from fatigue.
Yeah, that's why
I like the protagonist. It's just, yeah. But either way, as far as games go, do you guys think that there should be a limit on games? Much like how Spencer was talking about how there's a price right now, it's arbitrary. Do you think there's an arbitrary timeline for games to make it more enjoyable?
No. I really don't. Like,
I mean, I just got done. We just got done playing Dragon Quest 11 with 120 hours.
And there's games in which are like short as fuck, and I wouldn't touch them to save my life.
Wait, what about God, the game where she walks through Hades or Hell? Sorry, not Hades.
Oh, God damn it! Oh my God, how do we forget this game?
Hellblade.
Yeah.
Freaking amazing game.
It
was only 8 hours. You got
Was it 8? It felt longer.
Yeah, I've even got the live stream up of me playing it for 8 hours.
That too.
It's because of how much you enjoyed it.
It was good. It's amazing.
It was a good game. I think it definitely did feel empty, and that's partly the point, but I also think it's partly the features as well.
It was a game like super one track.
Yeah, it was very one track. You're going here, you're going there. That's all you're doing. It's linear, and it tries to lie to you, telling you it's
it's that level design 101. Like, if you're gonna do a classroom on level design, it would probably be up there as how do you guide somebody through what looks to be a big, bright world, and you're really just like in a straight line.
Yeah.
But how do you lie to them?
How
do you lie to them?
Yeah.
And they did it well enough for me.
That's an interesting point that I would say about a game like that. It's 8 hours. It was $40.
Yeah,
I believe.
$40
when it came out. How much was Chrono Trigger when it came out?
At least 60.
Maybe more, but at least 60, right?
Yeah, sometimes they came out as more. I was not very conscious of that when I was a gamer, so it's hard for me to tell. I'd have to look it up, but it's at least 60. At least 60.
Well, here's my point. That Chrono Trigger would not survive in this day and age if it came out for the first time. It would not be as popular.
It's too short.
It's too short. There's not enough stuff going on. People would just shit on the game for not having enough characters, for not having enough options to travel through time, all that stuff. And yeah, I could be being a bully about the way the game is, created, and sort of the advancements that they made that didn't exactly age well to this day and age for certain things. I have a time machine, but I can only go to specific times. I get it. But at the same time, let's look at a game that is coming out that's a remake. That's Resident Evil 2. Resident Evil 2 remake had to switch the camera because they could do it for the first remake because it was GameCube 2006.
Yeah.
At that point, it was the last real fixed camera, wasn't it? And it was the last fixed camera one. It was. game that was released. And then outside of that, they had to have this more dynamic camera. Imagine if they just remade everything and they didn't switch the story much, add anything else in, whatever. That game can still be beaten in 2 or 3 hours. Is what the game wants you to beat it in. That
Oh, it
game
wants you to beat it in 2 to 3 hours?
In you get a better rating for beating like the first Resident Evil, for instance, in a quicker time. You know, not using as much healing potions, not saving as much. I forgot what their guidelines are. It might as well be like MGS, which brings me to my next point. The first Metal Gear Solid. That game, for how quickly they want you to run through that game, let's exclude the dialogue for a little bit because it is ham-fisted and pretty fucking over the top sometimes. If we're cutting back on the dialogue a little bit, that game would not survive. And even if we didn't cut back on the dialogue, let's look at the worst offender, which is MGS2. I mean, people say 3, but I think it's 2. Because MGS3, you could sort of resonate with the dialogue. Resident Evil 2, or MGS2 had more of that concept of like, man, they're trying to trick you. It's the Illuminati and all that shit. And it wasn't dialogue that was more or as interesting. Yeah. That game wouldn't survive in this day and age because people would be shitting all over that game.
I disagree. Actually, ironically, I think specifically 2 would work. Because now...
What is that?
And I say you emphasize the dialogue. because now, like, those kinds of dialogue-heavy adventure games are more popular than ever. I think that game might actually survive on that.
You're saying dialogue heavy though, but like, isn't it tactical espionage? Isn't that its primary?
Yeah, but all the like, I guess thinking about all the Kodaks and
there's a lot of talking.
Yeah, which those games are always known for.
Like Firewatch. It's almost like Metal Gear Solid 2 is basically Firewatch.
Oh my god!
Do we just?
We just
taking his glasses off.
We popped the Pringles can. It's over. Metal Gear Solid 2 is Firewatch.
They're the same game.
But for that though, my point is our attitudes change as we grow older, but also as the times change themselves. In this case, I don't think this mentality of I want my single players to just be this is healthy, because I believe, this is just an assumption, I believe there's more people that are okay with having their experiences longer than people that are like, you know, oh man, you know, I want something that's only 5 to 10 hours. I wouldn't be I kind of feel like I wouldn't be cheated either way. I do have issues with certain things though. As a result, like a good example, remember Van Helsing? That game was too fucking long, in my opinion.
Well, you just didn't like it, right?
I fucking hated that sorry excuse of fucking Diablo game. You know, exactly. I even spent money on that shit.
The game was too long because you did not enjoy it.
Yeah,
but you wanted to beat it.
Time is relative. Yeah. And I think the example here is like, what do we value at the end of the day, right? Doom is a much better game than Doom 3, for instance. Right, because all it is about like killing zombies or monsters and fucking people up, right?
Yeah.
In that same vein, a game like I can't think of it. It was made by Epic Games.
Right. Oh no, sorry.
What?
Sorry, I was thinking of something else. I was literally thinking about the Bethesda game that they made.
Oh no, but that's a good one.
Yeah, which is short. I enjoyed that game. That was short as hell.
Yeah, and the sequel even looks good too, you know, for that, because they know what they're catering to at that point. I think it's a matter of direction too on the side of the developer. Bulletstorm was what I was talking about, by the way. Where all it is just being over the top. The game is only like 10 hours at most, I think, or 11 hours. Nothing fucking crazy, but you had fun doing what it was. You know, some games, if you think about it, are minutes long. Fortnite. How long does a match last in Fortnite before you restart?
That's true. You got the average match. I wonder how long it is. Actually, let me look
and
it
then
up.
Yeah. So you look at stuff like that. It's really relative. It's about if the two things I feel. If the developer has a clear scope of what they want to accomplish in that sense, hey, let's make this game wild and crazy. All right, cool. Well, we can have this be shorter, or let's make this game really emotional, impactful. Like Last of Us. Last of Us is what, 20 hours?
No, I think it's a little shorter, man.
I don't think it's like 15 or something.
I think it is. Like, I don't know, but I don't know. Like, I don't put a time frame on it, but I think it may be in that time frame.
According to Reddit, they're saying the average time for a Fortnite game is 20 minutes. They haven't played with me before.
Yeah, it'll be like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
All right, so Last of Us is 14 and a half hours. You're right.
Is it? I think it took me 18.
It might take longer because, death comes into play, doing things like
But JD, you don't die.
I don't, but shit like that, right? Could take some time. But they're saying for a completionist run, getting everything, you're looking at 27 and a half hours. But main story and extra. Never mind. I don't know what that means. That extra part. I don't know if they mean extra on the single player or playing the multiplayer. But
maybe that's when Ellie was scissoring that girl.
Jesus
wow, dude.
Christ.
Anyway.
Oh my God.
So they're saying for all playstyles, it averages out to around 16 hours, is what they're saying.
That sounds about right.
So with that in mind, if we're looking at a game like that, that's delivering that kind of an experience and made by, hey, let's be honest, they're a AAA gaming company, right? Making something that continually engaging. I'm playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and the story is much better than previous Assassin's Creeds. I'm having a lot of fun learning about it, but it's just because everything's so spread out, the pacing suffers for it. So then I get reminded that this game is long, and I get bored.
Yeah.
Is it hard though?
And that's the developer's fault. But for the guy that purchases the game and goes, this is whack because it only took me, 10 hours to beat. Well, you bought it. You're the one who invested in it. I feel like there's some responsibility on the consumer, but that's not what happens in this day and age. People don't want that. It's the developer's fault. It's somebody else's fault.
They made the game too
except
long.
for them. They made the game too long. They made the game too short.
You should have told me.
They didn't do X with Y character, and thus I'm upset.
Jesus, I was about to go back to the Ellie jokes.
You better not, dude. I can drop that. Spencer, I'm surprised you can put this shit on YouTube. The amount of time we've been cursing, YouTube's changed.
That's true. That's true.
You about to earn $0 for this.
About to get that flag, baby.
Yeah, buddy. That black flag.
Hang it high, man. But with all that being said, you guys have anything in closing?
Just time doesn't matter. You enjoy the game. I literally stand by that.
Time doesn't matter. Say that to the old people on their deathbed.
Right. Did you enjoy your life, brother?
We'll be like, rain. Wait, we'll be like, water in the rain or something like that.
Like tears in rain.
Like tears in rain. There we go.
Oh, I love that movie.
Beautiful monologue. Spencer, what you got?
No, that's it. I love talking with you guys.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
and I just want to close with this because about the time thing, because I just thought about this. I don't know if you guys have anything else to add on it too.
No, I'm good.
But I just got done playing Diablo yesterday with Troy. We were playing hardcore characters on Diablo 2. We got our characters to level 40, which isn't high compared to a lot of other people. Max level's 100, but we're on Nightmare, which is the second difficulty. My character died. A hardcore character, you lose them for good, right? I spent probably like 20 hours getting him up there.
Oh.
Yeah, right. I spent probably like 20 hours getting him up there. And because I love that game so much, like I didn't know what to do. And I literally made another character and started playing again and got right back up to not the same area, but close. No, not even close. But I'm working on it. But for time maybe for me is affected differently from how it affects, a different person in that sense. Maybe they look at that as they wasted time. I look at that as, I had an experience, so that's another thing to consider too, is what is considered a waste of time. If you beat a game in 10 hours or you beat a game in 60 hours, it's a waste of time doing all these side quests because I'm beating the game anyway. Maybe you think that was No, I was going to say you might think that for The Witcher, that's why you don't care to do the side quest initially, because you're just like, fuck it, you know, what's the matter?
That,
It's just prolonging it.
that's my attitude, not to The Witcher, to gaming, to a lot of games.
The first time you played The Witcher.
Right, and I went through it with that jadedness, and then I decided to go through it again because I realized The Witcher was worth it. But most games I find the side content is lacking.
To come full circle, when did you find out that the game was worth it?
About halfway through.
But did you do other side quests at that point, or did you just?
Yeah, I done some, but I also was. The other factor is, of course, we were on a time crunch back then. We were more worried about that.
How long it took us to do Fallout?
Do you know how much hair I lost over that? You guys taking so long? But no. But yeah, now I'm in the point where I enjoy them a lot more now.
Different state of mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rosie, you got anything else?
I didn't start loving Witcher until I played Gwent.
Okay.
He's got 60 hours in Gwent.
Right. Isn't that the Silver Fox, whatever? No, man. What are you talking about? That's Steve. He's a great Gwent player. It's ridiculous. It's like, I'm looking for a hunter. I don't know about that, but we got a Gwent player over here.
Yeah.
Like,
hey, sit down. Let's play.
Yeah. He's like, what are you doing, Geralt? He's like, killing monsters. Here's my trap card.
Drops his card on him. The single best commercial of gaming of all time. I love that one.
That's an awesome one.
But
you're forgetting the Smash Brothers commercial. But all right.
Oh, what, the Japanese one?
Oh,
or
shit.
no, the American one? So happy together.
Sing
No,
that
not
as a kid.
that one.
Sing that as a kid was incredible.
Hell no, man. I still get high. Well, I mean, the Old Republic had really good cutscenes too, or cinematics.
True.
Yeah. But I don't know. There's something way goofier and like way more entertaining about the Smash Brothers one.
I get it. I'm just sort of like, whatever. Oh no. We'll talk off the stream.
Yeah.
If that's all, I'm good.
All right. Thanks.
Oh yeah, I'm good.
Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks Rosie. Thanks JD. It's good to hear from you guys.
Yeah, man. We should do some more.
I'm still alive.
We'll see you guys.
I'm
next
actually dead.
time.
Toodaloo.
We just covered over